Olympics. In fact, there's even a story about an Englishman who was cycling around Europe who turned up in Paris, put his name down, and won a gold medal in the discus. I mean, he could just enter and do it. But after that, they started to get a bit more structured. And it become more organised, and now it's a multi-million pound venture. And they try to get every nation to go there if they can. The way they've done this is, you all know about the 5 Olympic rings. Blue, black, red, yellow, green. They represent the 5 continents of the world. And to make sure that every continent gets athletes to the Olympic Games, they limit the numbers. You have to pre-qualify for the Olympic Games, which is, people don't realise this, but for World Championships, when we had the World Championships here, if we were all different people from different nations, which you are, you could bring all your nations to, all your athletes to the Games. With where it is at the moment, you can't do that. You have to qualify from each of the continents. And you qualify the year before at the World Championships. So last year at the World Championships, everybody was trying to qualify the boats. And they probably took the top 10 or the top 2, depending on the event, the top 10 or 12 would go. And then they would take the top 5 from another continent and the top 6 from another continent. So everybody had a chance to send their athletes. So it's not unusual to have the 20 top athletes in Europe, but they won't all go to the Games in that particular event, because there are only a certain amount can go and then other people go as well. So we're going to have less athletes and boats here for the Olympics than we have for the World Championships. But you will still be guaranteed to get the top people, because the top people will still come from all those continents. As I say, we qualified all of our boats, all except one. We didn't qualify the women's single, but we qualified every other boat, which was quite an achievement to do. So hopefully we'll win a bucket full of medals. We can all get merry and drunk and have a lot of fun. So we had the Olympic Games, that moved on. We are the only nation at the moment in Great Britain to have had the Olympics where we had this one 3 times. I think other countries have had it twice, France have had it twice, but this will be our 3rd time, which is a new record. In 1948, when we had our 2nd Olympic Games, it was just after the war. Nobody had anything, no one had any money, everything was derelict. I was born in 1947, so I was right in that period. And I can remember my playground was Bomston and Craters in East London, where I used to live when I was born, probably tell by my accent. But the interesting thing about the 1948 Olympics, people said it was the People's Olympics. And the reason it was the People's Olympics is that people had nothing but their time and effort to give. Even down to the fact that when they had the Olympic Stadium open at White City, they hadn't finished the track. In those days, we didn't run on rubber tracks, which they do now, or tartan tracks as they call them. We run on cinder tracks. I mean, I remember cinder tracks. I'm sure some of you have run on cinder tracks as well. And the only way they could lay the cinder track was for the people of the area around White City to, in the morning before the games, to get up, clear their grates out in their fire with all the cinders, and walk to the stadium and chuck it on the track. And they made their own track with the cinders from the local fire, people in their fires around the house. So it really was an effort from the local people to actually start the Olympic Games off. The Olympic Village is being built on the other side of London, because it is the London Games. And has anyone had a chance to go and look at it? It's absolutely wonderful, honestly. If you've ever get a chance to go to Olympic Village, please go and see it, because it really is a village. I was lucky enough to go to one in 1968, many, many years ago, and I was shocked. Just, you walked in the gates, and then everything was free. They're building the biggest McDonald's in the world in the Olympic Village. I mean, they're really the biggest Olympic McDonald's. And it's a complete community of people. You've got cinemas, you've got swimming pools, you've got racetracks, you've got restaurants. Every food type in the world you can think of, they will serve. You can't expect people to turn up from one part of the world and eat someone else's food. They're used to their own food, and they've got to provide that food. So there's, every nation will have its own food there as well. And it's a wonderful setup, it really is. I think I've covered most things about the Olympics and what we're doing here. Are there any questions, please? Yes, Darren.
Will Sir Michael Redgrave be here at all? Will Sir Michael Redgrave be here?
Steve Redgrave.
Sorry, Steve Redgrave.
Steve will be here. In fact, he'll be here next Tuesday with me. He does a lot for charity, Steve. I've known him I used to coach him down at the Leander Club, and he does a lot for charity. He'll be here next Tuesday. He'll be looking after about 80 children here. We're teaching them to row, and he will be here for the whole Olympics. He will never miss Olympic Games. He's got 5 Olympic gold medals, as you know. Little trick question there. It's always chucked in. You get these questions, question of sport and things like that. They always ask 2 questions. Sometimes a year they say, how many Olympic medals has Steve Redgrave got? Or they ask, how many gold medals has Stephen got? And they're 2 different answers. It's not the same question. He's actually got 6 gold, he's got 6 Olympic medals. So if you get taught by that question, he's got 6 Olympic medals. Because he won 2 at one Olympic Games and 1 was a bronze. And he's got a nice box of all his Olympic medals in, and the bronze medal he keeps tucked underneath. Most people have it on show, you know what I mean? But so he's actually got 5 Olympic gold medals and 6 Olympic medals.
Katerina, did you want to ask a question? Oh, ask a question. Or maybe you were... I don't know, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now I understand that you do a lot of teaching for rowing, and
Yes.
that you do it for charity.
If I can, yes.
I understand that you have encouraged Karen to start rowing
Yes.
for a charity race next year.
Good idea, yes.
Now she has asked me if I would do it with her.
You mean I've got the honour of teaching you to row?
Yeah, but how do I have to swim before I start rowing?
Can you swim?
Yeah.
One of the things we have about rowing in this country is that it's a very, very safe sport. It really is. And one of the things we encourage the safety of rowing is that we teach every person who learns to row to do a capsize. We make them turn out the boat, because one thing we teach children is that we get rid of the fear of falling in the water. And once you're falling in the water once, the fear goes, and everything is easy after that. But one thing we teach children is that the boat is full of air. All the boats that we row have air either end and air in the honeycomb section of the boat. They cannot sink. You can fill them with water and they will float. So we encourage everyone who rows to learn that you never leave the boat. Here it's nice and safe, but even on the river, if you turn a boat over, you hang on to the boat, and then you're perfectly safe. That is your life raft. So swimming is great, but you don't have to know how to swim, just not to be scared of the water. And we can teach you that. But I'll be honoured to teach you.
Thank you.
I really will.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that, Terry. And I had one question, because I've recruited another 2 beautiful ladies for our team as well, with Princess Katerina and myself. Is there a problem, Terry, if you've got a dodgy knee? Is that okay to row if you've had a knee injury?
Can you bend it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you bend it? No problem at all. I mean,
Very
I'm an old athlete. I've had 3 operations on my knees, and they creak like mad and they make noises.
Well, Terry, thank you so much. I don't know if you're around for the rest of this afternoon.
I'll be around if anybody wants to.
People can come and ask you questions, and that's brilliant. Thank you. Can you join me in a round of applause?